Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your February 2024 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh, and as always, this is going to help you navigate the next 6 to 8 weeks, and you can use it for Sun, Rising Moon, or Venus. I begin all of my readings with mediumship and channeled messages. These came from dreams, and the first dream was something spectacular. Basically, I was just having a normal night's sleep, and all of a sudden I connected in dream space with this ascended master that was not angelic, not human, but it was elevated, it was ascended. A lot of our guides out there are not human. So I'm open to connecting with that from time to time. So this being of light put its hands on my crown chakra on both sides of my brain and said, wake up. And this is a wake-up call for you. This is your chance to really connect with your highest purpose. Sometimes we get mired down in details that don't matter. Maybe it's worrying about trying to catch up or compete with someone. Maybe it's fear of failure or fear of success sometimes too. There's no more time for delay. That's basically what I got from this ascended master. It was gently awakening me, and it kind of like in the brain, I felt this sort of just light go on. And if you felt like you were stuck before or sort of just unable to think through a problem, give it another shot. I feel like there has been this sort of energetic fear or block that was just removed this month or can be removed if you allow yourself to move beyond that fear or anxiety. It's definitely not your moment to hit the snooze button. This is a time of activation. And again, this was a light being, so I just saw this brilliant light come out of the crown chakra, and I felt excited. I'm like, wow, I cannot wait to begin. So, that being said, the fact that I was connecting with something out of this world also connects us to the world card. So the previous one was, of course, the star. I thought of something extraterrestrial, bright, brilliant, it would be the star. And then the world as well. So stepping into that higher calling and power, and then the world is about going beyond what you've done before. But go big or go home, as I put in that final bullet here. Really look beyond any sort of physical barriers or imaginary barriers and think to yourself, I'm going to find a way. There has to be a better way, and allow yourself to do that and to go there. The world is really great for those of you that are in your own business or are trying to make it to the next level. It's also a great card for publishing, broadcasting, podcasting. Just this is the month to make it happen. It's the month to bring things into fruition. This is, of course, leading into the next card here, which is about teaching, learning, and expanding. So all of what I just mentioned can also be connected to the Eight of Pentacles. So maybe it's a great time for some of you to get the training that you've always wanted, to go back to school. Maybe some of you have something that you'd like to share with the world, and it can be very practical or pragmatic, something like a curriculum, for instance. Or it can be something that is inspirational. Some of you might even be stepping on the stage and doing something like a seminar or some sort of instructional thing. We also see a person here in construction. The Eight of Pentacles is a card where you roll up your sleeves and you do some work. It can be pen to paper, it can be hammer to plaster, whatever it is. It's sort of your chance to build, to create, and really to get behind that. And if you can lean into these energies this month, the sky's the limit. With that being said, let's go ahead now, take a look at the cards, and see what else Spirit wants to say for February. As I said a moment ago, this can be used for Sun, Rising, Moon, and Venus. We'll go a little deeper into Sun, Rising, and Moon towards the end, so please do stick around. This is a very safe community, a great place to be, so I'm just glad you made it here today, and I'm happy to hold some space for you. I'm going to be quiet now and focus on the energy for the month ahead, and then we'll take it card by card. And there we are with our first synchronicity, the star. And in this deck, agape is one after, I believe, the world here. So another beautiful synchronicity. Got 2 volunteers. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your 2 catalyst cards for this month. How amazing is it that you actually got 2 roses here? They both look white, but one of them has this sort of golden energy, so we'll talk about that in a second. I want to start with the white rose. It's the easiest one to see in the major arcana. You have 2 cards which have this, the Death card and the Fool. Death, of course, representing an end. This rose appears on the banner that Death holds, and the message here is everything has a time and a season and a reason, and things come to a close. It's time to embrace those doors that are closing because something better is around the corner. And of course, the rose in the Fool represents just that, a rebirth, a new beginning, something different. So there's a chance for you to walk away from something and really not have to kind of lose much time in the new process of birthing, creating, etc. I'm seeing a new sort of ease between these phases of death and rebirth. And again, it's figurative, folks. This could be a chance for you to say goodbye to one job, hello to another. This could be you deciding to finally let go of trying to perfect something and release, if it's a project or whatever. This can also be an end to being stuck or stagnating in any part of your life. So if there hasn't been a relationship, a new one may come marching in. The golden rose represents friendship and partnership, and it doesn't always have to be love, folks. Some of you might meet a new best friend or a mentor or someone in your life that just inspires you. If even from afar, it could still be amazing. So this is that kind of connection. It's also the solar plexus and finding your own strength and power from within. And it's this gentle unfurling or opening or birthing energy, also connected with the solar plexus, that wants to come forth. All of these roses are about those ends, those beginnings, and those moments of gently easing into the next phase. So this is going to be a powerful month, Capricorn, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the spread is showing us. So let's take a moment to just drink it all in, okay? I mentioned that there is a synchronicity here in the form of the star in the crowning position. Very happy to see that. And then we have Agape coming through here, which is just beyond the World card in this particular deck. Also exciting. I think it might be a couple beyond that because the World is 21 and I think that's 23. They have some extra cards in this deck, so that kind of makes this an exciting one to read from. We have Judgment, so we basically have this ability to jump, like I said, quickly into another phase. You're actually maybe even skipping the world and going straight to something bigger. So that's very cool. We have love and partnership. We have achievement coming through. It's a good month. There are a couple of things here in the shadow realm that we're going to deal with first. So without any delay, let's get into that centermost card. We have the 5 of Swords. It's reversed. We have the 7 of Swords. It's upright. These two are siblings in tarot. Basically, where you see one, the other one is usually lurking in the shadows. So the presenting energy is 5 of Swords reversed. Don't waste your time, energy, or breath on conversations with people who lack accountability, don't want to listen, are argumentative, or enjoy getting a rise out of you. All of that comprises energy that you would see in this. And this person is just having a hard time in their own life. And what you can use in that sort of situation is empathy. Because typically that 5 of Swords individual knows no other way to sort of get some satisfaction than to kind of like poke at you. So take a step back, don't put your time, energy, or breath in that sort of vicinity, and instead focus on elevating conversations, being constructive. And when someone kind of goes there, you can say, it sounds like you're going through a lot. What's going on? This isn't like you. Or you can simply put a line in the sand saying, this isn't really productive. Let's meet when you're ready to talk or you're ready to listen. Just have good boundaries and don't waste time and energy. That's it. We don't have to really belabor this. For you, though, it could just be the critical thoughts in your head saying, you're not good enough, this can't happen, those sort of deflating energies that sometimes ricochet in our own mind. So release those thoughts as well. It's appropriate that the judgment card was crossing that, because sometimes this can constitute harsh judgment. So let's just look at the spread to see how this is. This judgment card can also represent the understanding or the knowledge that it's time to move on from a relationship, a person, a place, or a thing where you can't really feel like you're being listened to or supported. Now, this can also simply be disbelief or harsh judgment against yourself. Not constructive criticism, just criticism, okay? So that's this. We'll talk a little bit about the Seven of Swords, which can be, and then I want to go deeper into the Judgment card. The Seven of Swords in the deep past, which is a karmic lesson that's still coming through, is really just be accountable. Be accountable with yourself, be accountable with others, hold them to the same energy, all will be well. If you see someone that lacks accountability, they lie, or they promise something and they fall short of that, this is a time to put a stop to that, to highlight this and say, this doesn't work for me, or we need to address this, okay? And if you do that, then you have a great chance of overcoming this. And basically, the biggest sort of shadow energy here is sometimes just our own promise to ourselves that we know we're not ready or able to keep just yet. So really be cognizant of contracts, verbal and otherwise, and keep your promises. All right, as promised, let's take a deeper dive into the Judgment card, and then we'll move on. Judgment is an opportunity for you to basically have a second chance, to be reborn, to not be limited by a failure, experience, or thought in the past. We can see an archangel at the top here calling you to that higher purpose, and then we see souls rising up from a block, from a past experience, from whatever door just shut. This is the new opening that's coming through, okay? Rebirthing energy, absolutely. So if you can imagine that there's something beyond the current experience, it can happen. And that's really all we need to focus on with that. As we look at recent past, we have agape, which could be summed up by higher love, the highest possible love you could experience. And this is really, also it's a spiritual path, a spiritual awakening. I believe that love with a capital L, it's kind of the language of the universe. And this is reminding you to ease into that, to see yourself and embrace yourself with that unconditional love, to put love into all that you do. And also this is a chance for you to send and receive blessings. So if something comes to you, you say thank you. If you have the ability to be generous, you give it to others. And above all else, you want to foster that energy of family and love and community, okay? In the crowning position, we have the star. This is connecting to agape. It's also saying, if you're willing to love and receive in these high forms, then there's even more of the same that wants to come through. The star card in reverse is a reminder not to mute your light. You have what it takes to do whatever you need to do. You have what it takes to rise to the challenge, to rise to the occasion, to really shine. There's a little bit of hesitation here with it reversed, either because you're afraid that you have to be less than to be accepted, or some of you may be even afraid of stepping into that limelight because of, increased scrutiny or accountability. But that's exactly what your soul is ready for in this moment. You can handle this. This is great for those of you out there that are in the entertainment or creative paths or careers, because this is a chance to be seen. Also really good for those that are trying to create a difference, like through public speaking or politics, because people are paying attention to you. If you're trying to publish or create something, you're in the spotlight. There's really nothing that the star isn't aligned for, but a reversal of this is saying use your voice, stick to your vision, and never mute either of those things, because in doing so, that's going to make it a little bit longer, a little bit more difficult to get where you need to be. It might be time to move or move on. We can really see that packing up energy here in the 10 of Wands. And it's also a reminder that you've done most of the work. This is sometimes the most challenging part of the journey, because some of you are primed up for a break. You really want a vacation, but we can see here that you have a couple of more steps here to go. It's worth pushing through. The rewards are definitely there, because in opportunities, just to the side, we actually have 10 of Pentacles. So this extra hard energy, this work, this perfectionist quality here, it does pay off. Just don't push yourself too hard. Remember, you can shoulder the load, but you can also share it as well. So delegate where necessary, say no where necessary. There are chances to be more effective and efficient by saying no to people that are either uncooperative or untrustworthy. You have better things to do. Let them know where you stand. Focus on stepping into this new energy. So this is rebirthing, this is higher love, and this is visibility, this is graduation, this is, finishing something, and then over here we see all of the acclaim coming through. A little bit of hesitation here, which we'll talk about first, but we need to focus on you before we do that. So you're coming through as magician energy reversed. A magician can do anything they set their heart to. We see someone here who's a little bit in disbelief. One eye open, one eye closed, not quite sure of what's going on, maybe having a hard time focusing. The biggest challenge with the magician in the major arcana is which tool to use, because they have all 4 resources in front of them: earth, air, water, fire. And it's sort of like, you don't have to use them all at once. You can just use one, or you can use none of them. It's all about discernment. So focus, pick and choose, and most importantly, trust yourself. Creativity and intuition are flowing through you. The magician is a natural medium or channel. As above, so below. You're taking inspiration, bringing it through this physical body and bringing it to the planet. There's no wrong way to do so, folks. It just has to feel right for you. You have 2 of the most powerful cards when it comes to spiritual connections. This is ostensibly the most powerful, second only maybe to the High Priestess, or equal to that. And the Magician, it's right there in the chorus of those. Those are the top 3, actually. So you can do anything you set your mind to. The only thing that's getting in the way is disbelief or critical thoughts without a constructive element. So let's avoid that. This is a very good month for meditation, creative and artistic sort of experiences and exercises, and really focusing on channeling and putting it on paper. Don't put too many filters between you and what you're receiving. That's a little piece of advice from my own years of experiencing, whether it's creative block or not listening to your intuition. We've all been there. Just trust the first thought that comes through and put it on paper, okay? It'll be a really great exercise this month for deepening your intuition and going further and farther and faster on your path as necessary. In the environment, love and perhaps an opportunity, but there's something holding you back from saying yes. So an Ace of Cups in reverse is still positive. We can see in the upright position, it can be something beautiful. Someone saying, I love you. It can be you getting something that you've wanted for the longest time. So an acceptance letter to college, someone inviting you to a party, an achievement that you've long sought to, sort of like achieve. And that was redundant, but you get what I'm saying. This is your chance to really just make it happen. But when it's reversed, it's again with that Judgment card also reversed, which is a question of, it's the inner saboteur, and it's also the imposter syndrome. Am I really capable of doing this? Are they going to see through and realize that I don't have what it takes? Well, you know what? The universe wouldn't be giving you an opportunity if you weren't prepared for it. So it's time to release the doubt. Trust in your ability, trust in the abundance, say yes, okay? If you're ready and willing to say yes, the universe is ready and willing to provide. Now, when it comes to love, this is also giving you permission to say no to something that isn't good enough or where the chemistry is missing. So I mentioned that this might be more of a friendship. So let's say someone comes through and wants a romantic connection. A Magician card reverse is not the physical spark. It would be sort of like intellectual and like friendship energy, but when it's reversed, it's saying I'm not really getting the physical vibe. So if you meet someone that you want to go out on a date with, it's more like I think I could hang out with them as friends. Same thing here. It may not be welcome or mutual. Don't force it, folks. If you don't feel it, let them know. If they don't feel it, be at peace with that, because there's other energies that want to come in. You can say goodbye to that and another. We have several Fool energies that want to come through, other new beginnings. So again, just to look at these 2 cards, Remember, we have 2 roses here. So if something's not good enough, something better and newer will come through. You just have to say no and be honest with yourself and honest with them. Okay? That's all I have to say on that. Let's take a look at opportunities that are knocking. We have the 10 of Pentacles. This now connects to the Ace of Cups in a different way. So if there's a new job or money or some sort of like experiential opportunity that's knocking, but it also isn't what you want to do, again, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to others to just be honest, because people are relying on you. They're ready to connect with you. Only say yes to the things that matter, that really sort of light your fire. And if they don't, there's too many places where you can expand this month. So don't waste time and energy. This is an upright card. There's nothing to fear this month. That's actually what Spirit is saying. If you're afraid of success, don't be. You've got this. If an opportunity comes knocking and it feels good, say yes. Don't wait for the other shoe to fall. You've gone through all of the energy from the past where you don't have to repeat that anymore. You don't need someone to teach you, when to trust yourself or, how to be the best version of yourself. You've got all of these lessons. It's just a matter of leaning into it and thinking to yourself, I deserve this, I'm ready for this, and I'm so happy that it happened. Gratitude is your attitude this month. And if you do that, you're going to be set up again for success. Your outcome is what I was talking about. If you don't like this, something better will come through. So don't say yes or settle for something that doesn't vibe with your energy. There could be a great new friendship that comes into your life. There could be a transformative teacher that comes through and helps you transform or helps you ascend to something even greater. There could just be a great capability for you to call in opportunities. And that's really what we see. So it's saying don't settle, don't doubt yourself, opportunities knocking, and partnerships are also coming through as a part of this. You don't have to do this all alone. You can ask for help. You can bring other people into the mix. I just see you accomplishing great things and meeting great people. This is near future. This is outcome. This is possibilities. They're all great. Those are the most important cards. You're showing up in your headspace where I was feeling the sort of like higher being touch me with the star energy. That tracks. I also see you with this expanding energy of Agape and the Magician. It all tracks. This is a great month, folks. All that gets in the way is disbelief or people that aren't willing to listen or a lack of accountability with yourself or others. All of these things can also be overcome. It's just a matter of staying true to yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and expand this and go deeper into health, wealth, love, and destiny, beginning with the energy of health first, which is your mind, your body, and your spirit. We have a beautiful card here saying, you are in great company, pull back to propel forward. Take a moment to enjoy any sort of really amazing friendship or partnership that's in your life. Take a moment also to enjoy where you're at. Maybe some of you have just moved to a new place, right? Drink it in, experience the sights and the sounds. Have some fun in your new space if you just moved. Take a moment to be present. And if you are in the company of someone that you love, that includes your pets, by the way, but any living being, just really say, I love you and thank you and embrace that energy. By the way, you are enough. So if it's just you, and we say that not in a sort of, in a way that is judgmental, but if it's you, just say, I am willing and ready to accept, embrace, and celebrate my energy too. That cup needs to be upright. So self-love, self-acceptance, self-confidence. These things will bring in the Two of Cups. So when you focus on the one chalice in the upright position, someone else who's done a very similar kind of energetic work will come through. We're jumping ahead a little bit, but it is that healing. The emotional healing will help you when we get to love a little bit later. Let's now take a look at the energy of the cards here and see what additional things might be coming through with respect to health or well-being. Again, remembering that these are cards and we're looking at energy. All right, so this is a second chance. If you had a very close brush with sickness or death or a mistake or something in your life where you thought to yourself, I'm so happy I didn't go down that path. This card is also that higher beings coming through saying, wake up and change accordingly and continue on that path. You are ready now for a fresh start. You earned it, okay? It's what you do with today and tomorrow that matters. Learn from the past, don't live in the past. Also, remembering not to be overly critical about yourself or others. And if you're gonna try something new, stick with it. If you need an accountability partner, grab one of those. That could be a therapist, it could be a friend, it could be a trainer. I don't care who this is, but someone in your life to help you see your love and potential, to help you move through whatever challenges may be ahead. I do think unconditional love and acceptance and self-healing is the biggest, even though we're looking at something that is maybe more in you would think it would be in relationships, it really is a health thing, because you have to have that healthy acceptance and relationship with yourself first before you can have it with others. Don't overdo it. Don't take on too much stress at work. If for those of you that have a physical sort of, or I should say physically intensive or manual labor job, make sure that you're careful with your back and how much you're carrying. I think those are the main things that are coming through here. The Magician is also reminding you that less is more across the board. So when it comes to trying new things, mixing and matching things, so whether that is sort of like changing up your diet or your exercise or whatever, it's saying just do one thing at a time, master that, then move on to the next. Don't try to like throw everything at the wall at once and see what sticks. One thing at a time. Focus and concentration may be a little challenging for some of you. But overall, it's actually pretty manageable. Most of it this month is about emotional and I would say also familial healing. Some of you might be dealing with things from the past, but that's about it. Let's move on now from health to wealth. This is going to be all resources in your life. We have all tied up. This reminds me of the Hanged Man, right? It's like the Hanged Man in reverse. And so whenever a Hanged Man card comes through, it's saying, I've got something to learn from this current situation. So we have this coming through in wealth. Some of you feel like you can't move forward to the next thing. Take a moment and think, how did I get here? How do I feel about this? What am I going to do to break free of these, whatever they are, these contractual things that are binding you, these anchors emotionally that are holding you in place? This is your chance to liberate yourself from those things. And also, once and for all, to say, I'm done with that style of living or thinking that got me there. So you're going to break the mold in a good way and create something new. All right, let's just look overall at the cards, and then I'll break it down into 3 categories, like for working, non-working, or retired. So here's the good news. We just see moving on or moving up, and then we see a reward here. I see a spotlight energy as well. And there's a lot of love that wants to come through, but there's an emotional block that may be coming from you where you're doubting that or having a hard time receiving. So the number one thing that I can say here is be open to receive new abundance, new partnership. It wants to come through in all forms. Let's break it down and get to the specifics now. We're going to look at those of you in a job first, and then we'll look at those that are seeking employment or retired. So if you're currently working, some of you are sick of the morale issues or maybe the lack of follow through on promises. And the way to state this is in the most elevated way possible. So you would want to go back to conversations where hopefully you've chatted about advancement or growth and say, we've put this out there a few times before, but I am intent on moving forward. This is what I want. How can we make it happen? Let's set it up. Let's make it real this year. And really hold them to that. Hold them to being accountable. And if they aren't where you're at, it's a chance to move on. Like, it's very clear here. State your intent, state it with love, show your star power and star potential, believe it. And then if you don't see it in whatever amount of time you want to see it, then it's time to move on. The 10 of Wands could actually be connected to October. So you might need to give this, 2 to 3 quarters of the year to actually come into fruition, but it's worth mentioning it now. Some of you have one foot out the door. You said, I quit, and you're in a new job or you're ready to start something new. And I'm also kind of like behind those of you that are doing that. We'll talk more about the job seekers in a moment. You might have just received a promotion, some of you, and this is why we have hesitation. So there's unconditional love, there's a spotlight, there is a reward here. but there's disbelief, and disbelief is not good in this situation because let's say you're stepping into a management or leadership role. If you have self-doubt or you lack authority or you're speaking in such a way that people don't believe you, it's going to be more difficult to lead. So the most important thing this month is to state your intentions if you want to grow and go for that and do so with confidence. And if you receive a reward, to accept it and lean into it. It's just about growth. So you're going to reach for the growth or you're going to accept the growth. And if you're not seeing it, enter the next category, which is job seeking. So whether you're in a job and looking for a job or you're unemployed and looking for work, this will apply to you. Well, the biggest thing here is not to be down on yourself for whatever is going on right now, because I see a really great card and possibilities here. Wealth and employment and opportunity. You may have to travel or move for this opportunity, by the way, and even in existing jobs, travel may be a component. But it's for the better if you're ready and willing. Remember again that we had Death and the Fool coming through with these different avatars. It's really interesting that the Fool carries this white rose and we have the golden energy on this one. So I'm definitely seeing ends and beginnings. We got it with our 2 roses. So if you're ready to make that leap of faith, go for it. You have to really love it though. So if you're going to move, you have to love why you're moving and where you're moving to. Some of you are moving for love, by the way, or your partner might be moving and you're looking for new work. And again, I just see things ending in a good place when it comes to that. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't be afraid to move or to reach for something higher. It's a good chance for you to find something this month. You really have to go bold. That's my advice. Network. Your existing friend, family, or coworker network is how you're going to find this. And again, this is a month with the Magician and the Star where you really want to stand out. So don't try to fit the template. It's good to draw a little bit outside of the lines here. Partnering up with someone that might be like a hiring manager or a recruiter or headhunter could also be advantageous. And that's pretty much everything. You can find a job, but moving or traveling is a component. That's the biggest piece here. Definitely look at contractual things. And if you feel to yourself like, I don't trust this place or this contract, get a lawyer to look at it, fix it, or say no to that. Remember, you don't have to settle. Say no to what doesn't work, make room for what does. Don't accept the first offer that comes your way. Be discerning, hold that energy out there that you're going to find what you're looking for, and you have a good chance of doing just that. If you're retired, right now is a chance for you to develop yourself spiritually, maybe also to put a spotlight on things that matter to you. And it's basically about receiving. I'm encouraging you to focus on you. So if you've ever felt in your life like, I really want to go deeper down this particular spiritual path, go for that. This is a card that is associated with travel, but it's not necessarily having to go to another state, city, country, or province. You could also just be connecting virtually with people from afar, broadening your sort of network. So this might be getting involved with online communities and things of that nature. I mentioned curriculums and stuff like that in my channeled messages. Some of you might have a really cool story to tell, and it doesn't have to be written, by the way. This is about just storytelling from a sort of like recording it like voice or standing up on stage, or it could be an oral tradition where you're just passing on things to others. But there's something to say and people want to see you and connect with you. So be open to that. And again, spiritual development, these are 2 of the most spiritual cards. So you can do a lot with that, whether that's like yoga, meditation, Reiki, you name it. And again, there's even some employment or contractual work here if you wanted to moonlight a little bit as well. For students, I always like to look at you as well. There is something here where you feel like you're not sure if you want to continue with a certain path. And this is the time to make a change before you actually get out there in the workplace. So some of you might want to transfer to another school. Some of you might want to transfer to a different major. Go for what you want to do. Do it now so that later it's an easier path for you, okay? And that's all I'm seeing there. I do see a lot of success. Whatever path you choose, there is success. One is maybe what's pushed on you. One is going to feel a little bit more natural. Go for that more natural path here. Okay, that's it for wealth. It's a pretty good month overall. Let's move on to love and relationships. We have a beautiful card here. It did come through reverse, but let's look at the card as it is here. And it says, Serious Star Blessings. I definitely, like I said, got extraterrestrial energy, so maybe it was something from Sirius. It says, yes, proceed, be seen, push through. This could be I like to call it twin star energy. I don't really talk about twin flames. In outer space, binary and sometimes even triple star systems are more common than single star systems like our sun. So when you meet a twin star, it's someone who's done the work. They're shining just as brightly, even if it's of a different resonance. So that's the Two of Cups. It's going to be really strong. If you do meet a new partner this month, it's one of those deep connections where almost immediately you feel drawn to talk to them. If you're in a twin star relationship, it's really hard to tear that energy apart. So this is also confirming that you're right where you need to be. It's interesting that until you learn the lesson that you are, this bright, resplendent, amazing being, both you and the other twin star that's out there are having the same struggles. So when you shift your energy and just say, who cares? Let me be who I want to be. That twin star energy will do the same. The two of you will resonate more, come closer, things will be good. So do the inner work. It's coming through loud and clear here. Reach higher, shine brighter. There's room for many stars in the sky. So you never have to dim your light. That's the main takeaway here. Let's break it down and let's look at those in a relationship first, and then we'll continue down the path after that. So if you're currently partnered, the most challenging thing could be listening or being heard. It's not about being seen. It's about having a conversation with your partner and feeling like they've already made up their mind, cast judgment before you had a chance to finish, or vice versa. They're talking, you're like, I don't want to hear this. Take a break. When that's not working the way that it needs to work, it's time to kind of walk away for a second and say, let's regroup later. I care, but I'm dealing with a lot. I want to be there for you. Give me an hour or two, and then let's come back to this. There could also be a lack of accountability. There could be something that was hidden that's coming to the light of day. These two cards work with the devil, so we can actually feel the presence of that card here, even though it's not present. So you want to really just be honest. When you do that, there's room for healing. Judgment is clearing through that. It is one step away from the end, okay? And the way you do it is through unconditional love. And that's going to bring the two of you closer. Together, you can face anything. But you can't force it, so just hold some space. If you're going through a lot, by the way, because I'm reading for you, this is about getting the support that you need. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your partner. They can only do so much. So like I said earlier, that partnership, this friendship could also be in the form of a peer or a therapist or someone that's an expert, a mentor. You've got that energy in your sort of spread if you need it as well. Honestly, it feels pretty manageable this month as long as you work on listening and truth. Without accountability and trust and listening skills, yes, relationships are going to have some challenges. We don't see them falling apart. We just see challenges with that. Someone storming out or someone just getting upset. So let's heal that energy so you can both shine. That's it for current relationships. If you're looking for love, the partner may not be from your city, state, country, or province. They're from afar, or they have their own sort of unique take on things. It's not the typical type that you might see yourself with. It's a bright energy. It's a divine energy. But here's the interesting thing. Some of you aren't looking for it. You're looking for it, but you're not really looking for it because there's a lot going on in the realm of work. You're taking on a lot, you're focusing on a lot, some of you might have two jobs, or you're working and you're also going to school. There's a lot here. And so this comes in and you're like, can I handle this? Is this going to be okay? It can be if you want it to be. It's just about making time and making some choices, delegating, you saying no, etc. So I see love coming through at an inconvenient time, but this is unconditional or higher love. This is an even match here. This is a beautiful energy. I like where it's coming from. As long as the spark is mutual. If it isn't, don't force it. Something better will come, and that's the main message here. Is there karmic relationships or energy here? Absolutely. This is higher friendship, and this is past life. So this is like, maybe you've had a few times around the bend where you were friends, where you were lovers, maybe there was a familial bond. This time you can kind of wrap it all together and you are going to be, best friends. You're going to be, that family unit of two, and you could be lovers too. But you have to be ready for that. And there is a lot going on. So if you're ready, it's coming. If you're not, work on that unconditional love. And by the time you do that, partnership will enter in. I also connect this to an Aquarius. There could be an Aquarius coming into your life, or a strong water sign. Okay, let's reset this now for those of you that are happily single. Good for you. I always like to say that if you're happily single. Travel is coming through, great accomplishments with work, new friendships, platonic friendships, and even if you're not looking, possibly love. The other things that we see coming through for you are finally getting to know yourself and maybe being surprised. Like, wow, I didn't know I had that in me. You can handle so much this month because you're not splitting yourself in different directions. The same messages come through on working with doubt, holding yourself and others accountable, and really listening to what others have to say, because there could be opportunities that are knocking, but you might be sort of distracted, and we don't want you to be distracted this month. Such good energy. I mean, no matter how we look at these cards, it's really, really good. These are the only challenges, and they're in the past or the present, not the future. So you can handle it. That's the main takeaway. Let's take a look at destiny now. We have the beautiful, the powerful snake spirit. Time to heal. Well, we're preaching to the choir here, snake, because I've been saying that the entire journey here. This is your chance to look at things that aren't where they need to be, and you're going to say, I release that. I release that anchor. I release that fear. I embrace the blessings that come through. I don't second guess my intuition or my power. If opportunity and love come knocking and I feel the mutual spark, I accept it. I am deserving of all of this and then some. These are your mantras. You can adjust them as needed. Snakes are really great because they have the ability to, first of all, they can shed their skin. So if there's something that doesn't serve or suit you, you can release it. You can go beyond that. They're flexible. They can fit into situations that others wouldn't. They have the ability to bounce back. It's not that they really land on their feet, but they can land and kind of, again, have that resilience that you wouldn't expect. It's almost like a spring energy that I get with this. Now, the important thing with the snake spirit, say that several times fast, is that there is a sneaky quality to it. I talked about the devil. That's the elephant in the room. There may be something that you are hiding or afraid of talking about, or there might be a fear. Deal with that as well. Heal that as well. Once you do that, the sky is the limit. All right, folks, now we're going to take a look at sun, rising, and moon sign messages. This is going to help you fine-tune everything a bit more. And without any further delay, let's look at the cards. Sun, rising. Okay, we got 2 for moon, so I'm going to allow for 2 for the moon. And one of them is actually the moon itself, which is great. All right, let's begin first with the sun sign messages. 9 of Cups. This is a chance for celebration, for great joy, for abundance beyond your wildest dreams. It's also a card where sometimes you go overboard. So this is really saying slow down for a moment, drink it all in, but don't feel like it has to all happen at once. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill, and really just take it a step at a time. But if it's been a while since you've celebrated and really taken a moment to embrace all that is, do that. It's a good time for a party. It's a good time for a celebration. And this definitely is a card of all of that. But when it comes to working and celebrating and anything in general, everything in moderation. That's our main takeaway from the 9 of Cups. But it's good news. So another mantra this month is get ready for more than you thought you could bring in, and embrace that. This is, again, in that expansive thought. I'm ready for all of this or greater. Put that into the mantra practice this month. Rising and ascendant. 8 of Cups. Someone from the past could be coming back. It's a chance to heal. It's also second chances. And this is a chance for you to do it even better, to surprise yourself and to surprise others. Some of you are overdue for a vacation. Please take it if you can. And this is also a chance for you to sleep on something. You don't have to make your mind up immediately. The 8 of Cups reminds you of the power of saying, you know what, I don't have the answer to that just yet. Let me check on it. Or or taking a break before you decide to accept or quit or something of that nature. Basically, one step at a time and not pushing yourself before you've had time for consideration. So any important decision, you should at least have 24 hours, if not sometimes even a weekend or a week. Give yourself time before signing on the dotted line, okay? Now let's look at the moon sign. And in the moon sign, we've got two messages. The presenting card was the Ace of Wands, which is an opportunity. The card beneath it is the moon. And let's look at the moon for a second. First of all, the moon can represent something that is hidden in the details. So in a contract, definitely bring that up. If you don't understand or don't agree with something, we see, Artemis here pulling her bow and arrow and saying, let's fix that. Just going to get straight to the point. This is also reminding you of your power, your potential, not to second guess that. It's also dealing with fears or anxieties before they become something bigger, okay? And then on top of all of this is an Ace of Wands, which is an opportunity. We've got two aces this month, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. One is love, one could be a new job, or for some of you, this new idea, and it's like a light bulb, and it's saying, what am I gonna do to put some fire, some light, some energy behind this? And really don't be afraid to get started, because this is fear and this is embarking upon something, at least in the mind first and the heart. So it's time to take it from here and here and breathe some life into it, okay? This is a good month to start something new. That's the takeaway from that. Now let's take a look at your final card for today. And in this particular card, you can focus on anything that I haven't talked about already. Just ask the question and let's see what Spirit has to say. Page of Swords reversed. This is a positive card, but there is, with the reversal, a couple of notes. So first of all, the main download that I get from Spirit is it's okay to say no. So for those of you that ask me, can I walk away? Can I do something different? Is it okay to say no? Spirit is coming through with an exclamation point and the word yes. Yes, it is. Please do it if you need to. It's also okay to edit or change your mind or decision or whatever you have on paper. This is a revisionary card. So make the necessary changes is the main thing that Spirit wants you to remember with this. It's also important for you to listen to criticism from a constructive point of view. If it's not constructive, let the person know. Say, I can handle this, but there has to be something that we can use next. So if someone says, I don't like it, say, thanks for your honesty. Do you have a suggestion? What would you like to change? What isn't working for you? You might have to pull it out of them a little bit, but say it's not enough to just say you don't like it. You have to go a step further. And for yourself, it's saying be constructive, be supportive, and listen to the good stuff, not just the bad stuff. Put the pen to the paper. This is a page after all, and pages are not just about delivering messages, but also writing them and creating them. So ease into that creative journey that I've been talking about, and this should be a great month. Again, I'm excited for what I saw in the general spread here, particularly with this. This is completion, this is partnership, and this is money or opportunity. And all of these together with the star and the unconditional love means that there is a lot coming through for you this month. So be open and focus, and I think you've got this. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel grow, and it lets me know that you enjoyed this as well. So thank you in advance for that. Also, if you'd like to give me a follow on social media, it's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, and all the major platforms can be found on my website as well if you need confirmation. By the way, remember, I don't offer private readings, and I will never reach out using text, direct message, or any other form asking for something. The only way to connect in real time is either through a live here or elsewhere where you see me talking in real time. So stick to that and you should be fine. Speaking of that, if you want to show love and support here, do it through Super Stickers, Super Chat, the thanks button on uploads, and also through memberships. These are all great ways to give back. And again, it means a lot to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. With that being said, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you very soon. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Thanks for spending time with me.